morning, good afternoon, wherever you are from. Thank you for being here. My name is Katrina Verdiano. I'm from California in the East Bay. I'm an artist and I'm also an educator. I run my own business called Cat Creates, where I sell my own art, and I also teach art classes online and in person, and I teach all ages. My most favorite plants are succulents and cactuses. Why don't you go ahead and type what your favorite plant is? I like them because they're low maintenance and I keep them alive. And there's about 150 species. I did not know that there's a lot of different types, but these are natives from Texas and through Argentina. So this is some of my examples of what we're going to do today. And as you can see, the succulent, it's kind of like a rosette. So you're going to be, if raise your hand if you have painted roses before. Oh yeah, Debbie. Deb likes succulents too. Have you? So they're a little bit similar just because of the way that they grow. They grow like in a rose way. So we're going to be working on that, the different layers. Oops. This here is a reference that we will be using. If you have a different reference, feel free to use it. And the best reference though is if you have like a real live plant, that would be also great to use. But they come in different colors, and the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to be starting in the center, and then we will work our petals around like in a spiral motion. Okay. Here's the material that you will need for today. Watercolor paper. You'll also need like just a scratch paper, watercolor for watercolor drills, reference photo. If you have painter's tape, you can use that. And then a watercolor brush, like a size 6 or a size 8, any brush that you are comfortable with. And if you have a flat brush, you can also bring that out too. I'll show you a little technique that I do to kind of define the petals a little bit. And then for your watercolor paint, we'll be using mainly red, green, yellow. You could use brown if you want to, if you're going to make it a little bit darker. And then your choice of background color. 2 cups of water, 1 for cleaning, 1 for painting. Napkin or towel, and pencil and eraser. So I'll go ahead and give you some time to set up. And you can get all of your material. Also, if you want, you can also get your drink of choice. If you'd like to have tea, coffee, wine, you can drink anything you want. A snack. Okay, so we're going to do our drawing in parts. For the first step, we're going to prep our paper and our paints. So you may want to, if you want to do your painter's tape around your watercolor paper, you can start doing that, and then we'll be mixing our paints. We'll be doing the drill. Today we're going to be drilling on the value. Step 2 is probably the biggest bit of our class today is going to be, we're going to be sketching it out. So that might take a little bit of time. But then once we have it sketched out, the painting should be fairly easy to do. And then step 3 is painting the background and then the succulent. And I'll show you how to do it petal by petal. Okay, do we have any questions? We're ready? Okay. Oops. Okay, let me go ahead and okay. Okay, what you'll want to do first is go ahead, if you haven't done so, you can prep your paper. Like you can start putting the tape around if you want. This is what we're going to be painting today. And then here's your drill card, or even if you have like a journal would be great to paint in as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and mix our paints. Depending on what colors you're going to use, I actually just have mainly green, so you can mix some green paint. I'm adding a little bit of some yellow. Today the palette, the paint that I'm using is Art Philosophy, and this is the Woodland series. So I'm just using like this green, it's like a deep moss, and I mixed it with this yellowish color that's called Daylight. So not too watery, you want it you don't want it too, you want it a little bit thick. Just check. All right. Okay, so what we'll do as practice, this is a good time to, to test out the consistency of your paint. What I'd like you to do is I want you to use your green paint, and I want you to create like a value scale. So usually when we are painting with other paints, we use white for the tint if you want it like lighter, and then we use black to make it darker. Well, with watercolor, what you do is you just use just water to lighten it up, and then just add more pigment to darken it up. So I want you to experiment with that and see if you can get a really good transition. So this is good practice before. And also a great way to test out your paint. If there's too much water, you can just use your paper towel and just kind of you dab it and you can just mop it up. Green. And red. And you can push it. You can push the other side too. Just don't mix it or else it will turn muddy. Okay, so that here is like wet on wet. I want you to try now applying it dry. And then just getting a little bit of water and just kind of marrying the two. So see which effect you like the best. Can you guys see the difference in paper? Like this one here blends pretty well versus this one here. This one was a little bit tough for it to blend, and it also has like the fibers kind of come up. So this one is not my favorite brand today. And if you look at your reference, you can see the petals. We're actually going to start like right here in the center. Here's another tip too. Have you guys heard of watercolor pencils? Yeah, do you have watercolor pencils with you? Oh, okay. I actually do like sketching with the watercolor pencils because you don't have to erase afterwards. Like it just blends with your paint. So I've been just doing that, but for today what I'll do is so you can see how I'm drawing it, I'm going to use my pencil. But if you have a watercolor pencil, this one's a cheap brand, but they work pretty well. It blends. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start in the center, and the center is a little bit like it's kind of like a triangle shape. I'll draw a little bit darker so you guys can see, but I would like you to use a light hand. Okay, so we'll just start here and then just sketch around. There's like a petal that's inside right there, but let's go ahead and we'll draw another. So So just think of just like it's kind of like a triangle. Just you're looking at it from bird's view and they're like still closed. Once they open up, you'll see that the shape changes. It'll be a different shape. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw another line in here. This petal here is slightly larger and it hugs these two petals. So we're just going to curve it around. I'm going to move over to this side here. There's a petal that's in between, like an outer petal. And then we'll draw it's slightly larger here. There's like a little baby one that is right next to it. Now this petal is trying to look a little bit different. It's more of like a diamond. Right here on this petal, we're going to start another petal from behind and go around like that. Because there's a petal here that is underneath, this one here is on top, we're going to draw this one first. So leave a space there, and this here comes around like that. Once you have that down, we'll work our way back up and we'll create this petal here that points. There's a point on the top and then it curves back down. So now the petals are going to be a little bit bigger. Go around. We'll draw this side. Now if you want, you can stop here or you can keep going and create more petals. So I'll leave it up to you how many petals you would like to add. Just gonna go around. There's one that's right here, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and skip to this part. Oops. There's one peeking out right there. And then this petal here. I'm going to draw it down here. This petal is going to be off to the side. And then just go ahead and fill the rest with the petals that you want. You could even draw the flower if you'd like to. I believe they grow yellow flowers. I think. Okay, once you have that, you can get your eraser and just kind of shade it. If you have a gum eraser, that would be the best thing to do. I don't know what I did with my gum eraser, but I'm just gonna go ahead and remove some of this graphite. Too hard or some of the paper fibers will come off. Alright. Now the fun part. So what you're going to do is we'll start right here with this petal here, and you're just going to get water. Let's get some water. just put like a little dab, like half of it. Go to the next petal. Oops, this is too much water. And then this one here, drop a little bit. In there. Just go ahead and just tap it, and then you can spread it. This one here is a little bit dark. Remember, if it's wet, try not to touch it or else it will lead to the other part. Otherwise, you can skip this part and then always go back. So what you want to do is kind of paint it in sections so that they don't touch each other. Okay, so we'll go to this end. I'm gonna wet it. Tap some paint onto it. This one I'm just gonna paint just around. And you can drop some paint. You can put some yellow if you want to. Just kind of experiment with it. Oops. just keep going in a circle. I just skip like some petals in between so that I don't accidentally touch it. I like to just kind of dot it on and then just kind of push it along the sides. You can add a little bit of some yellow if you want to. Just gonna leave a little space right there so I don't touch it. You can always go back to it later. I'm gonna make this a little bit darker. I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow to it. You could also add red if you'd like to, like on the tip, even on the sides. If you add the red, just make sure that it's wet so it flows nicely. Paint around. So I just wet it, and then I'm just gonna drop some paint. So I like to just drop the paint and then just kind of move it around. I'll move it from side to side. add a little bit of red, you can, like on the tip or the side. Oh, oh yes. So I'm just adding a little bit of red here, and then I'm just gonna like let it do its thing. Okay. I'm going to make this a little bit darker in the inside part because of the shadow. And then I'm just gonna just pull the color to the edge. Okay. And then you can also just add a little bit of, I like to dot it because I like a little, I kind of like it when it's a little uneven. Also add a little bit of red right there. Like on the edge. So I'm using my tip and I'm just gonna paint this here. Leave a little space. And if it pools like that, there's too much water, you can always mop it up. I'm gonna add some green in the inside, and then I'm just gonna pull it. So it kind of fades. I'm going to darken it in the inside. And if you want to add a little bit of red, you could do so on the tip. Let's try this way. This here is, I'm applying it dry. I just added a little bit here. And then what you can do is wet your brush and then you can pull it too. So there's different ways you can pull it so it spreads. Yellow. A little bit of red. Inside and then just pull it. Right there. Some yellow. Some in the inside, darker. paint. Let's see. Spread it. You can try other colors too if you'd like. They have like bluish ones, greenish purple. For this, if you want to add some shadow, you can add a little bit of brown, just like a little bit, so it darkens up. There we go. And don't worry so much about making it perfect. It's okay. It's actually the imperfections is what makes it nice and unique. Just enjoy the process. Adding a little bit of dark. Oh, let me lower this. There we go. Just gonna pull it. I'm making the center like a dark green. Let's add a little bit of yellow here. So continue painting, and I'm just going to show you what you can do with like a angled brush or like a flat brush. So what I did with my other painting is I created these lines for like extra definition. So what I would do is I would just take the tip and I would just kind of just stamp it on. So if you want to try that, you can try it. I just took like a slightly darker shade. Let's see if this one's gonna work. So you just kind of like follow, and you don't have to do like all the sides, just like so I'm just kind of gently stamping it on. So you can see like a little crease there. And then there's like a shadow that's right over here. So I just stamped it on just like that. And you don't have to do all petals. You can just do like some. I'm barely touching it. Oops. Just gonna blend that. You don't have to do this step, but it's just, oops, sorry. Just another technique. You could also, if you want, is with another brush, you can kind of soften it too. So with a dry brush, you can just kind of soften. Watercolor is so versatile. I love how you could just use it like in different ways. But I will have to say, the paint to water ratio is always the toughest. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and kind of blend some of those harsh lines here. There we go. And then you could just paint your background once you're all done. I am just applying water around my succulent on the bottom. You could actually use, if you have a flat brush, a big flat brush, you can do that. Maybe I will use, and you can choose any color you want. I think I will use a blue. I'm using the point of my brush to get the corners. Just gonna pull this color and let it kind of fade. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna push it up because I want the top to be a little bit lighter. And then you could even do your paint splatters if you want to make it extra fancy. Let's see, what color? Let me try this. I'll wait till it kind of dries a little bit. It's still kind of wet. I'll put some fake paint splatters. I'm just putting like little dots. Let's try it. Hold on. I'm going to saturate your brush and then point to wherever you want it to splatter at. There. Maybe I might want to add a little bit of red for fun. I'll just put some dots of red. So my next painting class will be potted potted pansy, and we will be practicing, we'll be doing watercolor, and then if you have a micron pen, we could use that as well for the next time we paint. So that will be in 2 weeks from now. If you want to join again. And I also have a friend named Anita. Does anyone here know who Anita is? No one knows Anita? Okay. Maybe I'll send it to you guys in a little bit after. But she also has classes too, and she's an amazing artist. She's great at color pencils. So if you want to try her classes too, you can, and I'll email you guys later on. But we have 10 minutes, so if you guys are still want to paint, feel free to stick around. If not, you're free to go. If you have any questions, you can also just ask me as well. I hope you guys had fun. I saw some new faces
Thank you,
today.
Kat.
Oh, you're
Was
welcome.
really fun.
Aw, thank you, Deborah. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Please